And let's get this party started. All right, timer's on. Start your engines. Most of you guys already have your engines started. All right. I've never really said this to you before, but obviously you guys know that if you're using a Garmin device or any kind of device to gauge your distance, speed, power, heart rate, all of that, if you don't have your timer on, you're not going to get data, especially if you're uploading it to some kind of online system. So if you're using a Garmin Connect is where it will pretty much automatically go to once you've set up a Garmin Connect account. If you don't have Garmin Connect and you're using Strava, that's an option. Or if you're using Training Peaks, if you're an athlete using a coach, you can also use Training Peaks on your own. Those are some places where you can store your data and go back to that information and look at your data. One kind of nice thing about Garmin Connect, and I think Strava does the same thing, is you can do an end of the year, and it'll give you how many miles you've done in that year. So I know last year I did about almost 8,000 miles. And if we would have done Dirty Kanza, it would have been a lot more. And if we hadn't had a pandemic, it would have been even more. So I guess yesterday was the anniversary, our 1-year anniversary of COVID-19. It's amazing to think that by the end of this month, we will have done a year's worth of trainer sessions. So this stack right here, and I'll show it to you closer. This is every workout that we've done since the beginning of all this. So that's a lot of workouts, guys. I think I have 64 workouts on the YouTube channel. So it's a nice little library for you to have for the future. And a great library for me also to reference and utilize. So just like always, as we start, you have your full water bottle, your towel, and your fan, and you're ready to go. Right now, you should be in a nice, easy gear in your small ring with your cadence somewhere between, you can probably get it between 90 and 95. That's going to get the legs going. So tonight's workout, you're not going to have to do a lot of thinking, because every set that we do, except for our warm-up set, is going to be exactly the same, pretty much the same. The only thing that's going to change is the amount of time. And some efforts we're going to sit, some efforts we're going to stand. So each one of these is about controlling the effort. That's why I mentioned tonight is about patience. But one of the things that we're going to start doing is getting outside. So what happens when we get outside is we go from just cruising along to all of a sudden coming to a climb. So all of a sudden our effort changes. So tonight's going to give you a lot of riding along with change coming your way. So I'll explain that when we get to the main effort. So hopefully you have your heart rates, your power meters, your speed, your cadence, whatever metric you can use to help you get this through this. And we're going to also put you in some zone 3, zone 4 efforts, and then some all-out stuff. So it's a lot of variety, but it's a lot of patience with that variety. That's the key to this one. All right, so we're going to go back to our old standard for our warm-up. That 5-minute effort that just gets us some snap in the legs, gets us to get warmed up, get the body sweating. So everybody's going to get down to your small ring and your 15. So if you look back, you're going to see 3 gears underneath the chain. We're going to go 30 seconds hard. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Bring it up. Highest cadence you can hold. Really work on your body mechanics in this first 5 minutes. We want to get the body warmed up. We want the legs to start to burn a little bit. Three, two, one. Nice and easy. Back up to that easy gear. Now, if you feel your heart kind of jacking up and your breathing being a little labored, that's just your body reacting to the fact that it knows it's time to work out. So it's a natural reaction. And that's why when you do any ride outside, you should try to incorporate kind of a 5-minute effort like this into your road miles too. Starting to feel spring coming on. Getting anxious to get outside. Maybe tomorrow, if 50 degrees really happens. Back down to that 15. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Seated. Pushing it out. Find yourself pedaling evenly. Kind of pushing the issue. Making yourself go hard here. Get warmed up. 3, 2. Back up to that easy gear. Spinning those legs. 1 minute easy. And then we'll move on to another 30-second effort. Somebody told me that their flowers are starting to poke out from underneath the snow. It's pretty incredible that those little flowers can make it through that snow. But it's a sign. We change our clocks next weekend. Don't forget to put that on your calendar because you don't want to be late. All right, back down to that 15. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 30 seconds. Now is when the legs, you start to really feel them kind of coming to life. It's kind of cool how this happens. Three, 2, 1. Nice and easy. We're going to do one more of these. And then we're going to get to our long main set. And I think that main set, even though the effort lengths are pretty significant, you're going to see why it's going to feel like it's going to go fast. Almost to that last 30 seconds. Man, it was so windy today. Randy was going to go out for a walk. He was like an Eskimo going out. He had his hood up, he had a buff on, he had a hat on, he had 2 jackets on. Back down to that 15. 3, 2, last 30 seconds. Come on now. Here we go. Last chance to really get the legs going. If you're feeling the burn, you're doing it right. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Take a drink. Remember, that's what your goal is tonight. At every rest, I want to see you with that bottle up to your mouth. All right. So here's how this is going to go. This is a descending time ladder. 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, with 2 minutes in between each. The way it works is the 8-minute and the 6-minute efforts. I want you staying in your zone 3 for the main portion of the set. But here's where it's switching up on you. At the top of every minute, we're going to shift down a few harder gears and do 15 seconds as hard as we can go. So that's why it's going to go fast, but your heart rate's going to jack up. We want to see how quickly you can get it back down to that zone 3. And when you get it there, it's going to get jacked up again. So it's just going to go up and down the whole way through. As we get to the lower timed efforts, then you're going to put yourself more in a zone 4 effort, because obviously shorter time means you can hold that. So here's what I'm going to give you lots of freedom on. Pick a gear. All you need to do is stay at 90 cadence and keep yourself in zone 3. So that means at about a 7 on your RPE scale. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Figure it out for the first minute. 90 is the cadence. Effort level is zone 3. So pick the right gear. Big ring, small ring. Lots of freedom tonight. Just wait till you get to the top of that minute, because what's going to happen is we're going to be out of the saddle, going for it for 15 seconds, and sitting back down and settling back in. This is exactly what we need to start getting ready for what's to come outside. My cadence is a little too high, so I shift to a harder gear. Got myself right in to where I need to go. 2 harder gears. Standing up, let's go. 15 seconds. Pushing it out. 3, 2, 1. Back up to the gear that you were just in. So it's going to be 2 or 3 easier gears. You can see how this is going to have an effect. So be consistent, be patient, make it happen. Heart rate just starting to come down. And then like before, shifting 2 harder gears out of the saddle for 15 seconds. Sitting back down. Settling back in. Go right back to that cadence. 90's where you want to be. Allow that heart rate to drop. If you're working with power, go right back to the power that you were just at. '90 is our cadence. Picking the right gear. That's the hardest part. Shifting down. 2 harder gears. Out of the saddle. Come on now. 15 seconds. Doesn't seem like much. Sitting back down. Shifting back up. Finding that easier gear. Right back to 90 cadence. This is all about metrics tonight. You can't hold 90. Try hold 90 or 85. If 85 feels a little much, try 80. No lower than 80 though. Best part about this ladder is we're going down in terms of time. 2 harder gears. Out of the saddle. Halfway there. Come on now. 3, 2, 1. Sitting down. 2 easier gears. Right back to that cadence you were doing previously. Woo! Warming up for this one. You know what happens when you work in zone 3? You're burning a lot of fat. That's why you start to sweat. Shifting down, 2 harder gears. Out of the saddle. 5 of the 8 minutes completed. 3, 2, sitting down. Settle right back in. Starting to find your groove now. That's good. That's what you want. It's the way it works when you're out on the road. You don't know what's around the corner sometimes. Getting you ready. Here we go, hands in the hoods. 2 shifts down. Standing up. You're going to have this perfected by the end of the night. 3, 2, 1, sitting down. Right back to that cadence. Don't overshift. Settle right back in. This is the longest effort of the night. And you're already almost 7 minutes into 8. Last time standing, coming your way. Shifting down 2. Standing up. Come on, it's the last minute. 3, 2, 1. Sit down. Hold this last 45 seconds. Right to that 90. Hopefully the heart rate's coming down. If you're sweating, that's a good thing. Then you're doing this right. Ten to go. All the way to the end. Don't slow down when I say 3. Slow down when I say done. And you're done. Didn't even give you a 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Easy gear. 2 minutes easy. Take a drink. Towel off. So Randy went and had an ear exam because he was or has been fitted for hearing aids, because all those years of being a flight attendant, sitting in the back of a 747 with giant engines at your ears, he decided it was time to get himself to hear properly. So he went to the doctor's, ENT, and they did an ear exam. And he said, well, while you're here, anything else you want to tell me about? He said, yeah, like my nose seems like it's stuffed up a lot. The doctor said, well, you want me to put a scope up there and see what's going on? Randy said, sure. So, of course, he got the exam, said he had a little deviation happening up there, gave him some nose spray to help him out. Randy gets the bill in the mail, $500. He's got to pay this guy that his insurance didn't cover to put this scope up his nose. He's like, what? Now I'm going to have to ask every time. So more of the story to come after I get you started. So next, you can stay the same. 6 minutes now with, again, 15 seconds. But this time, we're seated for that. So I want you to go. Keep it in zone 3. Find that 90 cadence. You might want to use the same gear as last time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Every top of the minute, we're going to stay seated this time. 15 seconds, a little harder effort, and a little harder gear, just to jack up the heart rate a bit and create a little bit of effort. Find the right gear. See, I'm getting warmed up. Having a hard time finding the exact spot to keep me in the power range I want to be in. Now I'm ready. Remember that gear. If you find the perfect gear, you're going to use it for the whole workout. Well, for the next set, you might go down to one harder gear. All right, in 5. Shifting down 2 harder. 3, 2, 1. Seated. 15 seconds. Increase your intensity. Your cadence might stay maybe 90 to 95. 3, 2, 1. Right back to 90 again. So Randy decided he was going to march into the doctor's office and say, hey, why did I get charged for this? So he went in. You know, Randy's supposed to be an actor. He put on a good acting job, and they took it off of his bill. Woohoo! Saved us $500. Down 2 harder gears. 3, 2. Let's go. Bring up the intensity. This effort's only 6 minutes long. 3, 2, back to where you were. Back to 90. Let the heart rate drift back. Let the effort reduce a little bit. Now keep in mind, you're already 25 minutes into the workout. If you need a drink in the middle of this, then take it. You want to finish that bottle by the end of the night. Coming up to 3 minutes. 2 harder gears. And go. This is your 15-second break. Holding steady. 3, 2, back up. Settling back into 90. Letting the effort come down. Pay attention to how quickly that heart rate comes down. That's what we're working on here. Two more sprint efforts. 3, 2, 1. 2 harder gears. Let's go. Focus on your form. Nice strong pedal strokes. Light on your feet. 3, 2, back up 2 easier gears. Settle back into 90. This workout's easy to follow. Not a lot to think about. So when you have that time, look at all your body positions. Relaxed hands, bending those elbows. Feet are flat. Last effort. 2 harder gears. Let's go. 15 seconds. 3, 2, back up 2. Hold it for the last 45. Woo, 2 hardest ones. In terms of time frame, are almost behind you. 15 to go. All the way to the end. 5, 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Woo. Towel off. Take a drink. Two minutes easy. So it looks as if anybody has time later in the day tomorrow. We might get up to like 55 degrees by 2 o'clock. So a little afternoon stroll on your bike might be something to consider. So we were talking to somebody earlier in the week, and they said, you know, I don't think I've been on my bike since like September. So it's been a long time since we've been outside. If you do go outside, just be prepared that the roads may be wet, obviously, because the snow will be melting. And when you get home, take the time to wipe that frame down. Give a little wipe to your chain, because if there's still any salt still remaining on the roads, it's not good for your frame or your components. So use some soap and water to make that happen. Even your rims, because if the salt's on the rims, the salt on the rims gets on your brake pads. So the brake pads need to be wiped down. Just make it an all bike wipe down. All right, so we did 8 minutes. We did 6 minutes. We're now going for 4 minutes. What I'd like for you to do, since this is shorter, if you can make it happen, is make each minute more like on a zone 4 level, even if it's the bottom of zone 4. And then really go for it, because we're going to stand on these. So a little harder gear might be the way to go. Keeping the cadence at 90. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's make this one, since it's a little shorter, a little harder. I want to push you later in this workout. By giving yourself a harder gear and keeping the cadence the same, probably going to get a higher output, heart rate, and power if you're using it. Now, if you're using RPE, you're talking about an 8 here, not a 7. Let's keep the efforts high. Just like the last couple, it's 2 shifts down and standing up. 2 shifts down, standing up. 15 seconds. 3, 2, sitting back down, settling back in. Get that cadence. Now the heart rate's probably going to stay up a little higher. Since the main part of the set, you're up a little higher in your heart rate. So just let it happen naturally. Just focus on keeping that cadence strong. Two harder gears. Standing up. Halfway there. Three, 2, 1. Sitting back down. Come on. Only 2 more minutes for this. I know you're feeling it, but I know you can make it. If I can get through this talking the whole time, you can get through it listening. Coming up to 3. 1 more to go. 3, 2, 2 shifts down. Standing up. 3, 2, 1. 2 easier gears. Hold it for 45. Come on now. Last 30 seconds. Looking for consistency. You got it. Last 15. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Woo! Gonna need a drink after that one. 2 minutes easy. So I just got a text from my nephew. He got his second vaccine yesterday. And I said, okay, get ready for the side effects. He was like, oops, sorry, you texted me at 1 o'clock, and I'm just now getting back to you. I felt terrible all day, but fortunately, I'm now starting to feel better. So that's good. So he works in the health industry. That's how he was able to get the vaccine. He's actually in medical sales. He works for a company that sells Arthrex products. So if anybody's planning on a knee replacement, hip replacement, and you need a good resource, let me know. I'll get you in touch with Marlon Fenstermacher. He's doing great in the city. All right. So you see where this is going, right? The last one, it's only 2 minutes long. So that means I want you to give me all out, everything you can for 2 minutes. Pace 2 minutes as best you can. But again, give yourself a little harder gear for that first minute. And you're only doing one sprint effort here, 1 15 seconds hard. So you should be able to get yourself into the middle of zone 4 or the bottom for the first minute. And then we're going to go for it. Shift to that gear, same thing, 90 cadence, 3, 2, 1. If you need to shift to one easier gear and increase your cadence even more to get to where you need to go, that's an okay way to go. Because as we know, cadence and heart rate work together. So let's give it 90 to 100 cadence. Harder gear. Stay in zone 4. The hardest part about this one is our 15 seconds hard is in the saddle. Sticking with it. Coming up on 1 minute done. 2 harder gears when I count it down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 15 seconds seated. Push it out. Make it hard. 3, 2, back to that original gear. Hang on to it all the way to the end. "30 seconds to go. Push yourself here, push yourself. Light feet. Perfect circles. 15 to go. 10 to go. All the way to 0. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Nice and easy. Nice job. Oh yeah. You get 2 minutes recovery. Take a drink. We're going to do, now that our ladder's over, one last effort just to close out the workout. Give us some fresh legs. I'm not going to give you that until you cool down a little bit more. So bring that cadence down. You can bring it down to 80 or even 70 if you feel like you need your legs to be going that slow. Just don't stop the legs. Stopping legs is the worst thing you can do. So that's something that you should try for yourself, and I know I've mentioned it before. When you go on a ride, see if you can do the whole ride pedaling the entire time. No stopping of your legs, except for when you're stopping at a stoplight or slowing down to make a turn. You're pedaling all the time. That's how you get your average cadence up. That's how you get your legs to work really efficiently. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2-minute efforts that are going to go 1 minute at 100 cadence. Then we're going to go 1 minute at 100 cadence, 45 seconds of standing, and then crazy, but the opposite of what we normally do. And that's 15 seconds of seated and kind of a sprint type effort. So just like the other efforts today, I'm giving you tons of freedom. That first minute is all about getting the legs loose. Then it's going up a hill and then coming down the backside on that 15 seconds. All right, so pick that gear. Whatever gear, you can make 100 cadence happen and make it solid for 1 minute. Don't cheat yourself out though. Be at least in top of zone 3. Work it out here at the last part of this workout. Nice, high cadence. Kicking it up. Feels good to go at 100 cadence. Spinning it, spinning it. The legs should actually feel really good. We're coming up on the minute. So you know what happens. 2 harder gears is probably what you want. Go ahead and shift them. Sit back down or stand back up. 45. If you feel like you need a 3rd gear, go for it. Make sure it's comfortable. Nice and tall in your torso. Hips over those ankles. A little piece of the saddle touching you between the legs. 15 more. Then you're going to sit down and sprint for the last 15 in your drops. 3, 2, down in your drops. Let's go. Push it out. 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Nice and easy. 2 minutes. Get an extra rest tonight. If you're feeling that in your calf muscles, don't be surprised. Sprinting, standing, going hard out of the saddle. Those calf muscles are really engaged. If you're not almost done with your water bottle, you should be. All right, you're going to get 2 full minutes. Then we're going to do that again. And then, based on time, that might be it for the night. Unless you guys really want to do a third one. So we'll see if I get all kinds of thumbs up and yoo-hoo, let's do a third one. We'll see. So I did you guys know about the Palisades Cyclones, the mountain bike team that I coach. So since we haven't been able to get on the trails, we've been doing a virtual strength class on Sundays. So fortunately, some of the coaches are attending, which is really nice. So at the end of the workout, which was about 45 minutes long, Shepard Grinker, for those of you that know him, he opened up his phone line and he said to me, I am not going to be walking later today. He was so spent. It was kind of funny in a way. So thanks for the laughter, Shepard. All right, we're going to do that again. 100 cadence for the first minute. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let them spin. Spin them out. Because the second half, that last minute is the hardest. It's kind of a backwards minute, but that's what makes it interesting. Stick with this. Now is when your core really needs to happen. Start to get tired. Start to slump. Start to forget what makes it go easy. Almost to the last minute. Shifting down. 2 or 3 harder gears. Standing up. Let's go. Nice and tall. Looking at the ceiling or at the computer. Keeping your heads up. Mine's only down because I got to look at my timer. "30 seconds in. 15 till we sit. Woo! Legs are feeling it. 3, 2, in your drops. Last 15. Come on. Go for it. 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Easy gear. 5 minutes to cool down. Nice job. That is a tough one. It looks easier on paper. Take a drink. Finish up whatever's in your water bottle. I was talking to one of my athletes that's out in California, and his biggest problem right now is starting his workout at like 40 degrees, and by the time he's done, his temperatures are like 60, 70 degrees. So it's really tough. He's like, what do I do? I said, lots of layers, lots of stuff you can peel off. So if you don't have that kind of equipment, this is the time of year we're coming to where that's going to happen to all of us too. So a vest is one of your best investments you can make. Arm warmers, and believe it or not, arm warmers of different thicknesses. One that has a little fleecy stuff inside, and one that might be more like a sun shield, kind of thin, which might be good if you get up and it's like 50 and you feel like you just need a little something. Knee warmers, which are good because a little bit of your calf is showing, but it's protecting your knees. And of course, you know, we've been wearing buffs as cyclists for a long time. And I find a buff is the perfect thing when there's that little chill in the air when you first start off and you just need to cover your face a little bit. And if you want to wear a little beanie on your head, let me give you a little tip on that. If it's really cold, put the beanie on. If you start feeling yourself getting warm, and here's the trick, if you walk outside and you feel a little chilled, then that's what you want, because you're going to warm up as soon as you start riding. If you feel like you're warming up and you have a cap on your head, take it off. That will help change your body temperature massively. And then the beauty of cycling jerseys is we have a zipper. So if you just zip that zipper down, get a little airflow into the body, that helps too. The other good thing is if you don't have them, they make little toe covers that just go over the fronts of your shoes. Those are good because then you can still get some airflow in your feet. And of course your socks. If I wear too heavy of a pair of socks and I start to warm up, my legs and my body just doesn't like that. So if your feet are at the right temperature, it'll help regulate the rest of your body. So some people wear an undershirt. A lot of pro racers do because if they crash, they want an extra layer of clothing to potentially protect themselves. If it's really cold out, an undershirt's great. If your temperatures are going to change, you might want to ditch the undershirt and wear the vest. So it's definitely all a temperature gauge. And start to learn yourself. If you know you're a hot body and you warm up quickly, don't wear as many clothes when you start off. If you feel like you might need it, slip a little bit of arm warmer or vest in your pocket just to have it just in case. Because if you're too hot, the body can't function. If you're too cold, it'll have a hard time. So it's regulating that temperature. All right, great job tonight, guys. That was not an easy one. In a couple minutes, I'm going to stop my watch and clock, and we will open up the phone lines for any comments of the evening. All right. Great job, as always. All right. Whew. And we stuck with everybody. 21 people was our final number. That was good.